I know all four of you are against the current sex ed curriculum in the province of Ontario. I know you all believe that there wasn't enough consultation. I know you all believe changes need to be made. Anybody prepared to be specific about how you would make the changes?
Could I interject there? I don't believe everybody here is against the sex ed curriculum. That's not what has been said.
That is not the case.
Okay.
In fact, I don't think anybody here is against the sex ed curriculum.
No, as it is currently stated.
I've heard some people say they will review it. Nobody has said they're against the sex ed curriculum. So if you want to qualify that, by all means.
All right. Well, let's educate the host here, everybody. You want to say you are...
Well, I was starting off. People, what I'm hearing across the province, that people are sick and tired of the liberal ideology that's being shoved down their throats. And that's from everywhere, right across the board. They did not consult with the parents. They did not consult with the teachers. I believe in educating your kids at home first when it comes to this.
Do you think the sex ed curriculum needs updating?
Well, I think we need to review it and change it. 100%, it needs to be changed.
What would you take out?
Steve, I'm not going to get into the details, but I can tell you one thing. We have the greatest teachers in the entire world right here in the province. And I have numerous friends that are teachers. They weren't consulted whatsoever. None were consulted. Parents were not consulted.
Parents were consulted, maybe not adequately.
Parents were not consulted on this education system, on the sex ed education, I can guarantee you. And it's not just certain groups. Everyone's saying, oh, it's evangelicals, it's this. No. I went to Welland the other day on 2 days' notice. We had a packed house of 400 and some odd people. And when I said we're going to change the sex ed, the place went wild.
Okay.
When I'm up in Ottawa, I heard the same thing.
Okay, you're heavy on time already. Forgive me. Ms. Elliott.
I'm not in favor of the current sex ed curriculum either. We do need to have a sex ed curriculum in Ontario, but I agree that parents were not consulted adequately. We need to open up the curriculum. We need to listen to what the parents have to say because they know their children best and they know the age at which children should be learning things.
You want to be more specific about what you'd take out?
Sure. Well, one of the things that I've heard from many, many parents, I've been speaking to them as well, is to the age appropriateness of certain measures. So maybe something that children are learning in grade 2 now, they should learn in grade 8 or 9 or 10. Those are the things I want to listen to parents and make changes where necessary. But the other whole area that the curriculum doesn't cover is things like cyberbullying and sexting and all of those things related to technology. I want to make sure that our children are going to be protected and that they have the knowledge and information they need. So we do need to open it up. We do need to make changes based on listening to parents.
Ms. Mulroney.
I believe, as the other candidates do, that parents were not adequately consulted on this curriculum. And that's the problem. And that's the way it's been for 15 years under the Liberal government. They don't consult parents. They don't consult small business owners. They don't consult stakeholders the way they should. And in this case, the curriculum was developed mostly with bureaucrats and not enough with parents. But going forward, I will ensure I commit to consulting parents on all things that affect families and children. But I am not going to reopen the curriculum.
Let me be clear on your position. Is it your view that there is or is not a place for sex education taught in the public schools of this province?
Certainly there's a place. I'm not against sex ed. I'm just against Kathleen Wynne's radical sex ed. And I'm glad to see at least some of these candidates have evolved their position, and this is news to me. However, it's not enough to say that you will consult with parents. What you must do is repeal the Kathleen Wynne sex ed. So we're going to do 4 things, Steve. We're going to, number 1, repeal the sex ed. It's got to go. Number 2, we're going to review it. We'll do a whole review of all the line-by-line items within the sex ed. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to replace it with something that is age-appropriate, that doesn't sexualize children, and that parents are okay with. And the 4th thing, and I call this my 4 R's, is we're going to respect. Respect the parents. Always give them an opt-out. Always give them notice before these lessons are introduced, and we're going to give them ultimate responsibility to take care of their kids. They get to choose.
What is your guide on this?
My guide is my principles.
Where do you get them?
Well, I'm a Christian, as you know, but I think you could be completely atheist or agnostic. Most parents in Ontario are not comfortable that their child in grade 7 is learning about anal and oral sex. Find me one. I have yet to meet one. I run a not-for-profit that represents over 80,000 parents in Ontario. I have yet to meet a parent who's comfortable with anal sex in the classroom.
I hear you, but I think it's also fair to say there are parents out there who would be concerned if an evangelical Christian template were put on our sex ed in the public school system.
Yeah, but Steve, who's talking about an evangelical template?
I'm just trying to find out. That's not what you're about.
We're talking about, we need responsible sex ed that teaches things like pornography. Right now in our curriculum, pornography is not even mentioned. I'm not sure if any of the candidates even read the curriculum. Does anybody know how long it is? How many pages it is? It's 242. I've read it and I see what's in there. But here's the good news, Steve. When I say that we're going to repeal the curriculum, the sex ed component actually only makes up 3% of the curriculum. So we're not repealing the whole thing, just that contentious part.
Okay, sorry. Kara, tell me what you just said in my ear again. Okay, that's a fair point. We know what your faith is. I guess we should put on the record, if you want to, what doctrine or what faith you follow. Ms. Elliott?
I'm an Anglican.
Mr. Ford?
I'm Protestant, as my dad always said, what do I have to be?
Okay. Ms. Mulrooney?
I'm a Catholic.
Okay. You know, you're up against three pretty heavy hitters here who've been in this, either in as candidates or certainly involved with politics for a long time. You aren't, and fewer people know you than know them. How do you compete in this field?
Well, actually, I've been involved in the Conservative Party for probably over 20 years at the grassroots level.
You've said it yourself. Your name is not as famous as theirs.
No, it's not, and I'm happy for that because I don't carry the baggage that perhaps some of these names do. But at the end of the day, where were these candidates when Kathleen Wynne was ramming through crazy policies to our province? For example, like her sex ed agenda. I was out there in the trenches with the grassroots, speaking out again and again on these issues. When Kathleen Wynne was coming up with all sorts of absurdities. For example, Christine, you were a co-sponsor for Bill 77. That's the transgender therapy ban bill. I mean, parents are upset about that because that decision and that vote that you made overrode parental choice. So now parents who have a gender-confused child can't seek out that therapy because you voted for this bill and because it passed.
We're down to a minute, and I have to give you a chance to respond to that if you want.
Well, I support the needs of people who are vulnerable in Ontario, and I can tell you that there are many groups that don't have a voice. I want to be an advocate to make sure that everyone can have a voice at Queen's Park. Not everybody lives the same kind of life. I respect that, and I want to listen to all voices in Ontario and represent them.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't have to you don't have to erode parental choice. If a parent has a child who needs some therapy, why should politicians be making decisions that will limit the parent's options for therapy for that child?
I have always thought that parents should be involved in making those decisions.
Then why did you co-sponsor that bill?
The bill never eliminated parental choice. Parental choice and parental responsibility has always been there. But what I think is really important is that we need to stand up for all people in Ontario. Not everybody is the same. Not everybody makes the same life choices. I respect that.
And that is our time.